Hello and welcome to episode 3 of All Things Fight. I'm joined by Corey Barlow.
All right, mate.
Today we talk about UFC 204. We talk about the upcoming Alvarez and McGregor fight. We also have a look at other potential bouts and future bouts in the UFC and boxing. And we talk about Tyson Fury and his depression.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to cover today and I'm sure you enjoy it. Check it out. Corey, you're back from holiday.
I am, mate, yeah.
And how is it being back?
It's good, mate, yeah.
You were missed.
Oh, thanks, mate. So I missed you.
I'll say that.
I think. Yeah.
Well, what did you get up to?
I just ate a lot of ice cream, mate. Ate a lot of food. Seen some things. Jumped in the sea.
Did some stuff.
Usual holiday things, I suppose. Drank a bit of lager.
That's all right. Bulking, not sulking.
Bulk. It's coming into winter, mate. You know, you got to pack them extra pounds on, like.
It's natural.
Cuddly is what I like to call it.
Yeah, I found like over the summer I skipped my summer body prep and went straight to the winter body. Because anyone who trains knows that periodization is important. So I skipped the summer's like section and just went straight to the winter body.
It's easy. I think anyone can get a summer body. A good winter body is where it's at.
Yeah, no, honestly. Like,
And that all the rage now, like, chubby guy.
With a beard.
No hair.
Happy days. You got any tattoos?
Yeah, I have actually, yeah.
What tattoos you got?
I got 2 sharks on my leg and I got one of my mates' names tattooed on my arse.
You got one of your mates' names tattooed on your arse?
Yeah. He's got mine on his as well.
That's a beautiful thing. We'll talk about that another time.
Less said about that in a minute.
So, down to the fighting, the serious stuff. UFC 204.
Yeah.
Bisping, Henderson.
Bisping won the decision.
Controversial decision.
Very controversial, yeah. Henderson got a few, knocked him down a couple of times, got a takedown.
Massive punch.
Yeah. If you see Michael Bisping's face, like after the fight and even the day after, to compare to Henderson's, like his face was just an absolute mess.
The Instagram
like anyone
post.
who can win a fight and look like that afterwards, it's got to be like one hard.
I know the point you're making, but I'll make this point. Like Nate Diaz, when he fights, he cuts
scar
up,
tissue and that.
And he can dominate a fight.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people said that Michael Bisping's face after that fight, you should have looked. You can't win a fight and look like that.
Well, I think other than the two knockdowns, I think Michael Bisping obviously won the fight with significant strikes. Do you know what I mean?
He controlled the outcome, didn't he? He controlled the cage.
I think Hendo obviously he gassed out. The bloke's like 47. Do you know what I mean? Whatever it is, ridiculous. So fair play to him. He's gone a 25-minute, championship fight at 47. That's top props to him, a top legend of the sport. Do you know what I mean? Absolute pioneer.
Yeah, I remember seeing.
It's a shame for him, really, because it would have been nice to see him go out
in a bit of
with the belt.
Yeah, and leave the belt and his boots in the middle, his gloves in the middle of the ring.
At the end of the day, fair play to Bisping. However controversial the decision is, he still won the fight. So
I remember watching the weigh-in. Bisping and Henderson, and seeing them next to each other, and Bisping was looking sharp, but Henderson, he looked
like an old
man
bloke, didn't he, bro?
He had his shoulders hunched up, and his face was all flat like a shovel, and he just looked. I felt
sorry
for him. I thought he was going to get absolutely.
To be
dominated.
fair though, I thought Hendo was going to win. I did. I thought it was going to be, like when you see them old blokes that are still like proper handy.
Yeah.
Like I just thought, obviously he is, but you know what I mean. I just thought this is going to be, one last fight, one last big hurrah. I thought he was going to do it, and fair play to Bisping. Like he managed to stay alive in the early round.
He could potentially be in a lot of trouble when he fights again to defend that belt. Because if he's fighting against someone who's 47, no matter how good of a fight Henderson put in, what's he going to be like when he fights Luke Rockhold next or someone like that? Throw anyone else in the mix.
I mean, he did knock Luke Rockhold out, didn't he? So, but I think it's a tough one, isn't it? Because, like you say, Dan Henderson's a great fighter, so not taking anything away from him. But
Dana White turned around and said he can't believe that the first round wasn't a 10-8 to Henderson.
Yeah.
He said he reckons he lost the 5th round, but he can't say how it wasn't a 10-8. So Henderson, he did put up a great fight.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And that adrenaline of knowing it was his last fight, knowing this is the time he was going out, and knowing that he beat Bisping before.
He'll still be, I think, regardless of the result, he'll obviously be upset, but, he went out in good fashion. He lost the fight, but he still give Bisping a good hiding. So.
It was a great crowd in Manchester by the looks of things, and
considering how late it was.
Yeah, like the main card starting at 3 and then it finishing just before 6.
Yeah,
that's.
Bisping has got some trouble. He could be fighting Jacare or Luke Rockhold too, Or he called Weidman out, didn't he, the other day?
Who is the best fight for him in that mix?
I don't know. I think Rockhold 2 would be a good one. If he can win that, then bring on, Jacare or Gerard Mousasi.
He had that fight, like the UFC gave him the fight, the first title defence in Manchester against Dan Henderson. Are they going to invest in another European card for him to defend it, or is it going to be set up for him to...
I reckon the next one he'll fight in the States.
How old's Bisping now?
Mid-late 30s, I think.
And you got some interesting facts about him.
He's got the most wins ever in UFC, highest significant strikes out of any UFC fighter in history.
He's been around.
He's the only fighter to win the Ultimate Fighter, win a UFC belt, and retain the title.
From a bloke from Clitheroe who's doing all right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There's lots of other news in UFC.
Yeah, we've got. There's some good fights coming up in there.
Yeah, obviously, there's something we missed last time we were here. Last time we were here, Kirby and Connor were adamant that McGregor was fighting Aldo.
Yeah.
They're like, Alvarez isn't going to happen.
But it's weird because obviously Dana White promised Aldo a shot at the title.
Well, Aldo's just gone now, isn't he? He said even if he gets the shot, he don't want to be a part of the UFC.
I just can't really blame him, to be honest, mate, because he was the champion for so long. I mean, regardless how many times how many times he fought in 8 years or whatever it is, but he was still the champion.
He's been a loyal servant
a long time, yeah. And then, he lost, in like devastating fashion, really.
Yeah.
That's obviously because before he lost that fight, you didn't really ever hear from him piping up that much.
But that whole division's quite a quiet division. Before McGregor,
but since that now, all he's going on about, he's always sniping at McGregor, and you can understand why McGregor wasn't not interested, because like you said, he was on like a year press tour
chasing the fight, and he cancelled.
And then he cancelled the first one, and the second one he got knocked out in 13 seconds. So, did he deserve a title fight? I think McGregor should have gone down to featherweight and defended his title.
Oh, he's got to. He's definitely got to. But I'm glad the Alvarez fight got made. It's
a great fight. It's a great fight for both fighters, I think, really. Roughly the same. I think Alvarez is 5'10", McGregor 5'9", I think.
No, McGregor's got the height on Alvarez. When you see him
5'11".
When you see him stand next to each other, he seems a lot rangier.
Yeah.
Like Alvarez seems like the short, stockier fighter, definitely.
But I mean, Alvarez is comfortable standing and going to the ground.
Yeah.
I mean, if it goes to the ground, how well's McGregor's ground game gonna protect him? Do you know what I mean?
That whole thing against Nate Diaz, John Kavanagh screaming and shouting, "Don't go down."
Yeah. It's a great fight. You know what I mean? But you can understand as well. Khabib Nurmagomedov was promised the title shot.
Say that again, please.
I think it's Nurmagomedov.
I thought you were going to attempt it. He played up front for West Ham, didn't he?
Yeah, great player, mate. But he was promised the title shot against Alvarez as well.
Right. Okay.
So I think what was supposed to happen, McGregor was supposed to fight Aldo, and he was supposed to fight Alvarez. But obviously, what McGregor wants, McGregor gets, doesn't he? So he obviously wants to be the first person to hold two belts simultaneously.
Yeah, and it's great. I can see why the UFC want him to have that.
And it's the first fight in what is it in New York? What's the stadium called?
Madison Square
Garden. The first time they've gone there, so they're making history with that.
And they've got a lot of Irish in New York, so they're getting the whole support thing going on there.
If McGregor wins that fight, he'll be the first person to hold two titles simultaneously. How much of a featherweight champion is he? Because he hasn't defended his belt once. He's had 2 fights since winning it,
and he won it over 13 seconds.
Yeah, so
it wasn't as if it was a battle for it.
Realistically, he should have. I think he should have defended the title.
He beat people like Max Holloway on the way up, I guess, and their people are calling out for that title now.
Yeah, I mean, let's not take anything away from McGregor. I mean, talk about him all the time, but
we do talk about him all the time.
Yeah,
we should have a little like the weekly McGregor. That should be a little.
He obviously is a great fighter.
He sells fights,
but I think he should have defended his title. It's only what I mean. Aldo's the interim champion. You can understand, and especially he was promised the title. He was promised the title shot.
Aldo leaving could be a great thing for somewhere like Bellator. Like having someone else.
I don't think he wants to be in MMA at all, does he?
Oh,
he wants
to leave.
No, I don't think he's bothered anymore.
That's such a waste of talent if he just walks away from it.
I mean, he's been around for a long time, hasn't he? So it's not like it's.
He's like such a skilled technician. It's just it'd be terrible to see him leave.
And I think when he actually got to fight McGregor, he was so much pent up anger, and
he got gotten to. He got gotten.
Yeah, you could see, and he had so much emotion. I don't think the fight really showed the true potential between them two. Do you know what I mean?
How do you see Alvarez McGregor going down? Give us your prediction. What round? What finish? Go
on. I'm going to say McGregor late round one. The end. Hang on, what does that mean?
Late round. He's going to win it at the end of round one.
Yeah, the end of round one.
By knockout or submission or
knockout? Yeah, McGregor.
So
by knockout.
McGregor's going to knock him out in round one.
Maybe not knockout, or TKO or knockout.
You got to pick one. Come on, got to pick one.
TKO.
End of round one.
End of round one. That's what I'm saying.
We should have a sweepstake. I think we should take everyone's bets.
And then obviously you got some great other fights as well. You got Tyron Woodley, Stephen Wonderboy fighting on that same card.
Yeah.
Khabib's fighting on it as well.
Yeah, they've really they've filled it.
It's the best card they've ever done in it.
And this is another thing. Like, I love my boxing, I love my UFC, but the UFC always tend to stack a card.
Yeah.
Whereas the boxing sometimes can hold back.
Yeah.
So
for
people paying, it makes it far more worth it.
Yeah.
There's a fight you haven't mentioned, and I thought you would mention.
Oh, have you? Haven't got to it yet. Northcutt versus Mickey Gall.
Yes.
We both wanted that.
We do want that.
Yeah, definitely.
I like Sage Northcutt.
Have you seen Sage Northcutt's like trash talk?
No.
He's like the nicest guy in the world. I don't think he's capable of like being horrible about
Your mum's cakes are average.
And he said something like, because Mickey Gall said something like he's going to knock the gel out of his hair or something like that. And then Sage Northcutt, like, you know, when he called him out after he fought CM Punk, Mickey Gall said something like,
Who's CM Punk?
Yeah, I don't know. Some random And Mickey Gall said, I'm going to knock the gel out of your hair, Sage Northcutt, something along those lines. He said, well, I've got something to say to him. Maybe you should gel your hair.
Ooh.
That's literally what he said, bro. I was like, oh, no, he didn't. Just like, but I think that's a great fight, I do.
Yeah, they're both come from the same TV series.
Yeah.
Dana White looking for a fight.
I don't know. It's a tough one. It's going to be a good fight. It'll be interesting anyway. The thing is with that, it sets itself up for like a great, like, maybe trilogy fight. Do you know what I mean? Or like rematch. They could be like, because they're so young lads.
They've got
over the years.
It can happen for like, it can go on for so long.
Yeah, they've
they're like the future of the UFC completely.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and it's a good. Maybe it's a bit early for them to be set up in a fight.
Is it a shame for those two to be meeting so early on?
Yeah, maybe.
Should they get a run of fights?
That might be a blessing in disguise, because it might be they might fight now. Say one of them wins.
Yeah,
they go a couple of years, get better and better and better. Then they come back. And you know what I mean? It's like bad blood sort of thing. Kind of like Bisping and Henderson, really.
Yeah, it feels like a Karate Kid movie almost.
What it could be even, one of them might even make it to the title, a title shot.
It is mad how they've been pitted against each other so early
on. Mickey Gall called it, didn't he? He wanted the fight. And then obviously, they could see how much of an interesting fight that would be, and a lot of people would want to see it.
I'd love, because Mickey Gall going around calling people out, I'd just like to see.
You
sometimes
don't like
you just,
him, do you?
I don't. I think he's.
I quite like him, I do. I think he's a bit of a lad, but I can understand, like, he does come across a bit arrogant and a bit of himself.
A little bit.
I would quite like to see Sage Northcutt, give him a bit of a slapping, but
yeah.
At the same time, like, I don't want to watch Sage Northcutt lose, because he's just like the nicest guy in the world.
I feel like Sage's mum and dad are going to be watching in the audience, crying and getting emotional.
Yeah. I mean, he's lost a fight already in the UFC, hasn't he? So it's not like anything new, but it's going to be interesting.
It will be interesting. Talking about the UFC and all these different matchups and all these great fights coming up, there's one guy in particular who keeps keeps springing to mind, and he's possibly one of the best fighters ever, pound for pound. John Bones Jones.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
It's just a shame, isn't it, really?
Is he a waste of talent?
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's making some bad decisions, I suppose, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Do you remember that kid at school? Like, the one who was naturally quite smart.
Yeah.
But got lazy with it because he didn't have to apply himself to reach the same level.
Yeah, I can understand where you're going, yeah.
Do you reckon John Bones is that guy?
I'm not sure. I don't know what it is with him, like, because he's obviously such a great, like, athlete.
Yeah.
But like, why would you make some of the decisions he's made if he knows he's going to be caught and he knows he's going to be seen? Do you know what I mean? Like, I can understand, you've got to be able to live your life, but like,
he's getting caught. He
hit
said,
and
like,
run. Do you know what I mean? Like with
like,
drugs and that in your car.
And there was something about taking pills, but so like to cover up testosterone levels and different things to.
Obviously, the last fight he couldn't partake in. But he said he was taking a new supplement that he didn't realise what was in it. But surely, if you're that level of your game, you got people to check this for you. Do you know what I mean? So you don't make these hiccups.
Why are you taking these supplements that are new?
Yeah.
Why aren't you taking something that's tried and tested?
Obviously it must have been a company that sent it him.
But you look at Cormier.
Yeah.
You look at Rumble having this fight coming up. Jones, for me, beats both of them.
Yeah.
And twice on Sunday.
I think Rumble versus Jones is a good fight. I think obviously Jones is more dimensional.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think he might have a few tricks up his sleeves, but I still find it quite an interesting fight.
You know, in both worlds, like the boxing and the UFC, there's a lot going on with like people getting to a certain level and then just seeming to waste to the people in the lower echelons like ours, just like looking up.
Yeah,
they seem to be wasting their talent.
Yeah.
Do you reckon there should be more around for fighters, or do you reckon there's like a problem that is not getting addressed?
I'm not sure with Jones. It's like a mental health issue. Like for instance, Tyson Fury, what we'll come on to in a minute.
Yeah.
I just think he's made some bad choices in the public eye.
But if he's at that level, surely he should be like
thinking about what he's doing.
Yeah, like Cristiano Ronaldo in football terms.
Yeah, never hear that.
You never see. Oh, Cristiano Ronaldo's been drinking.
But then again, you've got to be a role model. You've got to make just choices outside the sport. You've got to.
It's like that David Beckham factor, isn't it? You've got to be that guy.
Obviously, I'm not saying being like a really nice guy and stuff like that, but you've got to. You're going.
You become a role model.
You're the best person at that weight category in mixed martial arts in the world.
I can relate to that because having one of the best podcasts, you do feel that pressure. But looking at we'll go on. We'll talk about Tyson Fury.
Moving on with what you were saying about
this guy. He was the man who beat the man, and it's come out since we've done our last episode that like not only has he got like really bad depression.
Yeah.
He's also apparently taken lots of cocaine.
And that's the other thing, fair enough if he's suffering from a mental health issue, obviously, suffering from depression, which for him, because I heard an interview with his trainer, is it?
His uncle.
I heard an interview with his uncle, Peter Fury, today. And Peter's like, I just don't understand it. He said, I was trying his hardest, but I can't understand someone who's got everything, he's got a lovely house, got a lovely car, great family. What's he got to be depressed about? But that's the thing about depression. But obviously for Tyson Fury, it must be difficult for him to talk about his mental health issues because, he's the self-proclaimed Gypsy King. He's the heavyweight boxing champion of the world. He's supposed to be...
Who's he allowed to talk to?
Who's supposed to be this big, he's 6'8" or 9 or whatever he is.
Yeah.
How... he's not supposed to be having, mental health problems.
So I suppose this is where, when a guy like that has them problems, we'll find cocaine, we'll find nights out.
He's trying to find outlets, to try and remedy his illness, if you like.
I suppose it's like a form of escapism, isn't it?
I'm not condoning, that he does cocaine, obviously,
No.
If you're a professional fighter, you're going to get drug tested. You've got a heavyweight fight coming up. Don't do cocaine.
But I suppose when you're depressed, you literally don't care about that.
No, of course not. He's come out and said, I don't know how much this is true. He's come out and said stuff that he doesn't want to live anymore.
Yeah, Billy Joe Saunders, he actually turned around and said he's worried that Tyson might not make it to 30. That's a massive statement.
But with stuff like that, you've got to look as well. He's such in the spotlight. Everything he does would be under a fine-tooth comb.
There's this whole rematch thing with Klitschko, and I've been having a look at this, and the minute he won that belt, there wasn't much adulation for him. There was a lot of the British press. They sort of,
but no one backed him before the fight. That's the thing as well. Do you know what I mean?
He wasn't meant to win that fight. Like he was just.
They did everything they could to try and.
And he worked hard for that fight. He fought a lot of guys to get the title shot. And there's people like Joshua who had a really good Olympics, and they were getting pushed, and they had quite an easy route to the IBF. Like against Charles Martin, that fight was a joke. Like Joshua. Completely better. He didn't really even have to move much.
I mean, it was like a vacant belt, wasn't it? So
and Charles Martin inherited it, and then because they took that. This is the funny thing. They took that off Fury.
Yeah.
Fury had a rematch clause with Klitschko if he won. Yeah. It was in the contract. Signed it. It got done. So from the minute he was obliged to fight him.
Yeah.
One of his belts got taken off him straight away.
Yeah.
Like the IBF one. So and then he's getting all this press about stuff he said.
But the thing with depression is, it's all well and good. Say if you come up to me and said, "Oh, mate, I've got depression," and me just going, "Oh, just don't think
together.
about it."
Yeah.
But it's not as simple as that. This is a mental health issue. It's something that's
just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And what other thing you can go off with that is, has it had something to do with all the head knocks he's received?
Yeah, no.
If he's been getting punched in the head repeatedly for a long time,
there's signs of that in rugby players and American football players.
Concussion. People that suffer from concussion can go through massive personality changes and suffer with depression, mood swings, all sorts of different issues.
And I think when you think of depression, it's all about people's coping levels. So someone could be like at one level, and then all the stresses just push them over it, and that could trigger it off. And if you look at what he has gone through, there has been a lot of pressure. I just want to see him fight again. Yeah,
I think definitely. Yeah, I like him. I do. He's a great character.
He is a character.
He says sort of what he's thinking,
and he's a good boxer.
Yeah, he's obviously tricky. The heavyweight. He's the heavyweight champion of the world, isn't he? So
for a big guy,
I don't know if they're going to strip the belts off him, but
this is the plan. They're on about making him either a champion in recess, or creating like a diamond belt sort of situation where the belts will be contested, but he will have some sort of claim. I'm not too sure how it works.
Yeah.
So that opens it up for
obviously realistically. I don't think he should fight until he's sorted himself out.
No, you can't have someone going
because
in
he can't go in there. Now. To be honest, I don't think he wants to. What's the point of him doing something?
No one should be in that ring unless they're 100% mentally and physically
fit. No, of course, because you're just gonna end up either getting hurt or. So
don't expect him to come back quick. People shouldn't expect that. They should he needs to want it, and he needs to feel 100%.
And he needs to work out his personal life first, doesn't it? Do you know
what springs to mind is his namesake. Mike Tyson.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing, mate.
He had, all these pressures, like his first wife, Robin, and being, and then the rape charge.
Allegations and all that,
the pressures are there for these young guys.
Is, with Mike Tyson, I don't know if it's the same with Fury, but he had, leeches that would just stay around him for the money.
Yeah.
And he doesn't know who's real, who's fake.
Yeah.
And obviously that, plays on your mind. Plays on your mind, doesn't it? So you can understand why these people do turn to drugs and stuff like that. But it's just, I think, with regards to Tyson Fury, he's just got to get his head straight, hasn't he, first, before he starts fighting.
Yeah, good luck for Tyson. Okay, so boxing. Let's get excited.
Yeah.
Boxing, there's a lot going on. There's a lot happening.
Talk us through it.
Well, I'm just trying to secretly get my notes ready in my right hand here, and I'll have a little look in. And the first thing what comes to mind is Ortiz. Ortiz is signed for Matchroom. That means a few things. Ortiz is a very handy heavyweight. So by Eddie Hearn signing him to Matchroom, he's kind of protecting Anthony Joshua from fighting against him.
Right.
If you look at the top 10 division, at the top 10 in the heavyweight division, Ortiz is probably the person who's going to give Joshua the most problems.
Right, okay.
So it's very interesting, and I'm not saying that sarcastically. It is very interesting that Matchroom has signed him. They've got Dillian White, they've got Joshua, and now they've got this Ortiz bloke. So Eddie Hearn, judging the situation, he's planning quite far ahead. I don't see these three guys fighting each other anytime soon.
No.
Dillian White's done really well. He beat Ian Lewison for the British title the other day.
Right, okay.
And for me, Dillian White's a dangerous fighter. When he last fought Joshua, it was a great fight. He's
not a very tall heavyweight, though, is he?
No, he's 6'4", 6'3". Yeah, these guys
I think it's because he was
against
stand up against Joshua. He looks so short. That's why probably.
It's I feel sorry for these guys who are 6'2", 6'3", who carry a lot of weight because they're such a disadvantage.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I think you like some Mike Tysons. I don't think you're going to see too many of them anymore.
Not anymore, no.
I think if Mike Tyson walked into a gym now, they'd be like, right, we need to you need to cut the weight.
Yeah.
Like you're 5'10".
Yeah.
And
you're fighting at lightweight.
Yeah. So Ortiz is signed for Matchroom. Dylan White won.
Yeah.
Everything's going well over there. Everything's going swimmingly.
Klitschko versus Joshua.
If that happens, that's going to be mega fight.
I seen a video about us on Facebook. I clicked on it and I thought, no way. I thought that'd be a great fight. And then about 10 seconds into it, it was one of them videos.
Oh, with the lady making the rude noises.
With when two people have an adult friendly hug.
Yeah, adult nap time.
Yeah, and the female makes a very.
I think I hate those videos more so than Rick Astley, the Rick Rolling ones.
Do you know what's annoying about them now? It wasn't so bad because when you first opened it, it just happened straight away. But now they've got clever.
And they wait. And they lure you in.
They've lured you in with talking or something else. And then it happens halfway through the video.
Yeah.
We're going to give you up. Anyway.
Eddie Hearn, it has been recorded on Sky without any orgasm noises, that he reckons it's 70-30 towards the fight happening.
Yeah.
Potentially, if you look at Dominic Breazeale and the people Joshua fought before, Klitschko is a step up. I know.
That's a tough fight for him. Such an experienced fighter as well, isn't it?
Oh, that guy, he's dominated the heavyweight division for so long.
If it happens, what do you reckon the outcome?
I don't know. We look at his last fight against Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
He could have been having a bad night.
Let's not forget Tyson Fury is the same height as Klitschko.
Is he not a little bit taller?
I thought they're the same height, aren't they? Or is he an inch taller?
I'm not too sure. And
I think they're both 6'9".
The thing is, when you build these boxers,
and
you know this from the rugby world, everyone tends to get built like bigger, heavier.
Than what they are. Yeah.
So you don't exactly know until you see them next to each other in the ring. Muhammad Ali was billed at 6'3.5" years when I think he was only 6'2".
Yeah.
So, but anyway, Klitschko against Joshua, what a step up compared to the people.
It's a tough fight. I reckon if he takes that fight next, I think he struggles.
Maybe Matchroom has seen something in the fight against Tyson Fury and they think, right, Klitschko, he's coming to his end. He's had another year out because he's been he's had a lot of time wasted.
Wouldn't it be better for Joshua to fight either Joseph Parker or Deontay Wilder next?
Well, Joseph Parker is the mandatory for the IBF belt, the belt that Joshua holds.
Yeah.
And Parker is a tricky fighter.
Yeah.
That would be a class fight.
Who do you reckon wins?
Parker.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? What's your explanations for it?
The way he moves, the combos he throws.
Do you think he'd just be too much of a handful?
Yeah, if you look at people like... The hardest fight Joshua had was against Dillian White.
Yeah.
And I think that Parker's maybe a slightly better version of Dillian White.
Right, okay.
And I think that's what will give Joshua trouble. But the person to give him the most trouble is Ortiz, definitely.
Yeah.
And he's signed up with Matchroom now, so maybe that's protected Joshua for a while.
Yeah.
Joshua's a great boxer. He's got potential to go so far.
Yeah.
It just depends who he fights next.
You don't want to overcook it, eh?
Yeah, but when you talk about overcooking it in the same hand,
he needs to fight someone.
It's a bit undercut. You look at Charles Martin. You look at Dominic Breazeale.
Yeah, he hasn't really. It's an old cliche. Obviously, he's had to fight people to go where he is, but it's one of them things now, especially in boxing, is no one fights anyone really decent until they're up to the top anyway. So it's
until they're ready to retire, sort of thing.
Do you know what I mean? Like gone are the days. I think back in the day
when you had Eubanks Ben fighting,
when all the good people all fought each other.
Yeah.
Now, fighters are so much wrapped in wool
because
they'll get they'll fight people they know that they'll beat all the way up till they win the belt,
and then they get their first challenge.
And then they have to, maybe fight.
Because my mate David's gone quiet, isn't he? David Hay.
Oh, yeah, where's he gone now?
Well, I don't know. He needs to be in the mix. Why isn't someone like him fighting Dillian White?
I think maybe him versus Joshua is not a bad shout.
Yeah, David Hay's a great boxer. I
think he needs to fight, someone like... I think if David Hay fights Dillian White next, I think that's a great fight idea.
Yeah, because Dillian White, fair play, he lost to Joshua.
Yeah.
But he's been grafting since. And like that,
I think that's the fight that should happen next.
Yeah,
David Hay versus Dillian White for the British title.
That'd be class. That's a great shout.
And then, obviously, if David A wins that, as a crack.
Well, the next fight for Joshua is billed on November the 26th. So, expect to see a lot of good fights on the undercard.
Yeah.
But, it's an interesting division, the heavyweight division. There's so many different names thrown in the hat, especially with Fury going through his thing and not being around. It's just opened up the ballpark. Someone like Deontay Wilder needs to have a good fight soon against someone.
Yeah. Because he's powerful, isn't he?
He's sort of stuck in the States. He's over there, and it's like not a lot that's going on.
That's the thing, innit? I know what you're saying. Because you haven't heard much of him, really, have you? So.
No, you got all these good, you got Hay and Joshua and all those in England, and then you got other guys in Europe. So you need to see what's going on. He needs to either come over, or someone needs to go over there and try and dethrone him.
Yeah,
it's going to be an interesting one, definitely.
Yeah, but if Tyson Fury doesn't get stripped of the belts, and Klitschko versus Joshua fight, what happens then? Is it just they just fight for the one belt?
I think I don't know. I think there's a lot of money to be made. Because let's have a think about it. What happens? Let's have a look at two scenarios. Klitschko wins. What do you reckon happens then? Does he retire?
No.
What does he do? What do you think?
If he beats Joshua and gets the IBF belt, he waits for Tyson Fury.
Does he?
Rematch.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, obviously, because then
he's 40, 41, 40.
Yeah, it depends how long Tyson Fury wants to wait, isn't it?
Fury's only 28. You can have a year or two off and come back and he's been his prime still.
Oh, it's a tough one, isn't it? But what I was thinking was, if he beat Joshua, took the belt off Joshua, fights Tyson Fury to unify all the belts, beats Tyson Fury,
then retires
with all the belts.
Yeah, I think
it's obviously that's the fairy tale ending, isn't it?
That's the Rocky 7 finish. Do you know what I mean? But it is interesting. Joshua wins. That is like.
Yeah, and then
the Tyson Fury comes back.
Has to fight Tyson
Massive
Fury.
Fight, O2 fireworks.
Tyson Fury versus Joshua, I think Joshua struggles that fight, I do.
Tyson Fury, the way he moves and that when he's 100%.
So awkward, though.
He's so awkward. Yeah. Sometimes it looks like he's going to throw something and he doesn't even know he's throwing it until it happens. I think he has the advantage over him. He has the reach and the height. Am I right in saying that? I'm not going to say he has the fitness or the cardio over Joshua, because Joshua, look at him, he's in the
machine. Yeah.
But it is so interesting.
There's a lot of possible outcomes.
What ifs? We're all talking about it. It's exciting. It is good. Hughie Fury's little cousin. Well, I say little. He's a massive heavyweight.
Isn't there something about him wanting to fight a Joshua or something?
Well, he was going to get the fight, but apparently Matchroom has said that the Furies were asking for too much money. Hughie Fury's a great boxer.
Yeah, but you can't just go straight into.
He hasn't.
That title fight, has it?
Okay. Maybe he doesn't have to go straight into the title fight, because interestingly, he turned down fighting Dillian White due to being friends.
David Haye versus Hughie Fury.
That'd be great.
Interesting fight.
Yeah, because Tyson Fury doesn't like David Haye because he got messed around.
Yeah.
I wonder. Yeah, this is interesting. Tyson Fury didn't like David Haye because he got messed around with injuries and postponed it.
Yeah.
Tyson Fury's just messed Klitschko around for a year.
Yeah,
Does he have a redemption? He comes back, he's like, look, I know it's like, hey, let's get it on.
Them two fight?
Yeah.
Oh, that's quite interesting, isn't it?
Oh, that's so interesting.
There's a lot of so many, and the joy of it is that most of them is British.
Yeah, like
especially in the heavyweight division.
And heavyweight boxing is the biggest pull into the sport for spectators. It's what gets people excited.
Yeah.
And it's something I'm definitely looking forward to. Yeah, get your comments in on Twitter. Yeah. All Things Fight 1. Someone already had the handle and they don't do anything with it. Very annoying. The YouTube channel, All Things Fight, and we're on Facebook too. So make sure you have a look.
Check us out. We're
not just on YouTube, we're on iTunes as well. Hopefully, Dan, the producer, we get that sorted.
If we get 1,000 likes, I'll do a naked 2017 All Things Fight calendar.
Will you actually get naked for us? Well, not just me, but
if we get 1,000 likes, I'll do a naked 2017 All Things Fight calendar.
Is it just you or all of us, like me and Connor as well?
You can do it if you want. Obviously, I'll cover up me what's the word you use?
Tackle.
Nah.
Jolly Roger?
I was going to say perishables then. That's not a great word, is it?
Perishables? I think you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
But anyway, sorry.
Okay then, guys. So remember to like the video if you want to see Corey's Meat and 2 Veg for your kitchen calendar 2017.
Housewife's favourite.
Do you want to sign us off with your radio voice?
Yeah. I don't really... What do you want to say?
Just... Cheers for watching All Things Fight. Go on.
Cheers for watching All Things Fight. The smoothest fight talk show.
That's the most porno radio voice I've ever heard. Cheers, guys. Thank you.
All the best.
See you next week.